I'm just still like in a I don't even know how to explain it, but I am feeling like I'm in a waterfall and God is just pouring over me right now after you read that last
Mm,
portion from the podcast this week on the Godhead and specifically about God's traits and his character and who he is. It's just like it just keeps washing over me and
mm.
washing me clean, washing me new, opening my eyes to new perspective of who God is and who I am because
Mm,
He is my Father.
that's a great word. Ooh, I feel that. Who you are because he is your father.
Wow.
Ooh, that's good. Um,
You know how those kids, when you're in grade school, they're like, "My father is blah, 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 blah," and they think they're something because of that? Well, we are something because God is our Father.
right, there's no debate about it. Yeah.
And what is that? I wanna know.
Right, that is a life journey. The journey of life, I should say. As you just presented it how you did, it was so well said. It does, as I'm looking at the list, which I'm cheating because I have the list. Um, I had not thought about each word and what it means about me.
Because
And that's not to be selfish, right? It's to be aligned.
God created us, so we have those traits too.
Right.
The same DNA.
Yeah. Something that I also really like about the traits which I'm looking at now because I got to cheat a little bit by being the one that read them is it's not only how how you have these traits in you too, but also in a moment if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're like, let's give an example. In the episode I talked about diabetes, you're facing this like tension and you're like, Father, what is it about you that I know will show up in a moment like this? He's like, I'm the great physician, right? That's one of the things on this list, which this episode was all about the character of God as our Father. And you have the ability, Nikki mentioned the episode, to just like take the transcript or copy it from the show notes, however is easiest for you, and just look at this list every day because it's going to refine you. It's going to deepen your walk with the Father, deepen your identity. And you're going to see, I guess the word I'm looking for right now is like answers to your prayers that you may have started off, Nikki referenced to treating God like a genie. You may have started in the beginning treating him like a genie, but now you have the answers to every single prayer that you've probably ever had. And it's based on his character.
That's so good.
Do you have a favorite trait or character of God?
I probably do, but right now, it's just like I said, I'm in a
It's all
waterfall
good.
right now, and it would be hard to pinpoint just
Mhm.
one because it's almost like I'm sitting inside the waterfall and just peering out, like, the water is just, like,
Mhm.
going over me, so it's hard to distinguish one trait from the other right now.
Mhm.
Just
That's beautiful.
It's so hard to explain because, just not being well for a while now, and you can get funky dumpy real quick and forget about these things, that the good gifts that the Father has and these traits and all these different identifiers and who he is and what his character is. And I was just like in the episode, like I just want to worship him
Yeah.
and worship in a form of repentance to God that I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
That he's my good father. Like, he's got me. Like, he's walking me up to school to face my adversaries, and he's not gonna let me go. He's not gonna let me fall. He's
Mm.
done so much for me. He's always showed up. He's not gonna just stop now.
You've made a reference to the schooling and like, having God. If you had a bully, right, and you take God, and how much like empowerment and strength would you feel? And as you're speaking about it again, life is that schooling.
And sometimes I could be my own bully.
Right. Yeah. No joke. But it's like, of course, you're always with yourself, but then when you go out into the world as well, all of life's moments and parts and memories, that is your schooling here, earthside, to prepare you for eternity. So if we take that and actually apply it to real life, the fact that he's always with you to face yourself, to have self-love, right? When you're being your own bully or to face external circumstances or people, he is there as father to like it makes me think of the armor.
Mhm.
So he's like a pre-armor to your additional armor. Like you've got all this protection if you choose to utilize him as that. Especially as Nikki just said, um, when you're your own bully. That's a big one for people. You know, Nikki and I talked about on the episode that God is love. She started with that. I had that as a later trait, and it's like one big characteristic of him. And many times people understand that, but they try to force outward love, but not receiving their own love. And you cannot be a vessel of love without connecting to God the Father, who is love. You receive it and love yourself, and then you can love the world. And that's really important because in the episode as well, we talked about you become like this vessel of light. But the only way you can do that is his love helps you love yourself to then be the love outward. But it's based on who he is, not your white knuckling, not your hard work, not your definitions and research and knowledge. He is love. So we can't get it from anywhere else, no matter how hard we try to love other people and love ourselves.
It reminds me of that verse in the Bible. I don't exactly know how it finishes, but most people know this. It's like, "Be still and know that I am." How many times am I not still?
Right.
And how many times do I forget who my father is?
It's a trust thing, right? Which you talked about in the episode. You have to really trust to be still.
Mhm,
And you talked in the episode as well about Moses.
mhm.
And as you were talking about that and how God declared himself by his character and nature, I was thinking about how God just says, I am who I am, you know? And again, that makes me feel like when you start to really grasp that, you have that trust factor and you believe him for everything because he's creator, which we talked about. So he is everything. He is love. So I am who I am. I am love and I can be nothing else, which Nikki talked about how consistent the Father is, how he doesn't change. And if we can believe that, we can be still. I think that's my personal journey right now when we talk about nervous system stuff, which is such a buzzword right now. But I think in practical scriptural Christianity perspective, it's just being still, teaching your body how to be still when you've taught it otherwise for so long. He'll use you either way. But optimal performance, to let the light fully come through, there has to be like a settling inside so it can bust out. Otherwise, it's almost like a block. And that's where I'm at. And it's nice. Still scary to be still. It's nice to have a glimpse and a better understanding of his design and his intent for us as his kids because that's who we are and we can't change it. So we might as well receive it. Just like you're doing right now after the episode. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.